Many people think Buddhism and Advaita Vedanta are completely different. Buddhism talks about anatta, no self. Advaita says aham brahmasmi, I am Brahman. One says there is no permanent self, while the other says our true self is infinite. But are they really saying different things, or are they pointing to the same truth in different ways? Advaita says your individual identity, your name, body, and mind is temporary, like a wave in the ocean. The wave appears and disappears, but the ocean remains. Similarly, what we call me is just an appearance. The deeper reality is Brahman, pure, unchanging awareness. Buddhism, too, says the self is not real, but instead of calling it Brahman, it explains it differently. The Buddha taught that what we call I is just a collection of changing experiences, thoughts, emotions, and body sensations. None of these remain the same. So, how can they be a permanent self? Imagine the open sky. It is vast, unchanging, and ever present, but within it, clouds come and go. Sometimes dark, sometimes light, always shifting. Our thoughts, emotions, and identities are like those clouds, constantly changing. Buddhism says there is no fixed cloud that is you. Advaita, on the other hand, says you are not the clouds. You are the sky itself, always present, untouched by change. At first, these ideas may seem different, but both are telling us not to mistake the passing forms for reality. Now comes the real question. If the separate self is false, then what is real? Advaita says that when we let go of the false self, what remains is pure awareness, Brahman, infinite and formless. Buddhism also says that when we let go of the false self, what remains is shunyata, emptiness. But does emptiness mean nothingness? Or does it mean something beyond all definitions? Many misunderstand this. Vast emptiness does not mean lifeless nothingness. It means reality is beyond labels, beyond concepts. In Advaita, we say Brahman is not this or that, it is beyond all words. Even in Mahayana Buddhism, we find ideas very similar to Advaita. Some Buddhist texts speak of Tathagatagarbha, the Buddha nature present in all beings. Some scriptures even say that shunyata or emptiness is none other than pure awareness. Exactly what Advaita says about Brahman. So, is Buddhism really denying what Advaita affirms? Or is it simply using different words to prevent people from turning the truth into another mental concept? That is why the Buddha often remained silent on deep metaphysical questions. Was it because he had no answer? Or was it because any answer would become another idea, another trap for the mind? At the heart of both Buddhism and Advaita is the same realization. There is no separate self. What remains is not something you grasp. It is something you wake up to. The Buddha called it nirvana. Advaita calls it moksha. Different words, same truth. So, is Buddhism actually talking about Advaita? Maybe the real question is, can words ever capture what is beyond words?